strikers because remember I was writing the strikes? Yeah, that's him.
Need you. Likewise. Call me.
All right. Dude that spoke on Shaq, he's completely right because I was caught up in the middle of all that.
Well, first of all, there were no arrests made other than Cash Jones.
Wack 100, most famously known for arguing on Clubhouse, has been exposed as an confidential informant in paperwork recently released by defendant Money Mark and Studdabox. Before we play the recording of Money Mark, who was the main defendant in this case, confirming Wack is back, let's take a look back to when Wack himself spoke on this case and admitted to meeting with the feds and also saying they owe him a favor.
Once they hit my motherfucking home office, that's when they called the search off. Because in the home office, he then discovered the house and the cars and everything they thought was up under my name, that had that living beyond the means excuse to come in there, was all up under different corporations.
Wack is claiming that FBI did not know his house was not in his name before entering his home, and once they found his paperwork in his home office, they called off the search. How does the FBI not have this information prior to search warrant?
My attorney, we go down to the federal building on Wilshire Boulevard, right up to 405. We go up top. Now, I get up top, I'm tripping niggas. So when I tell the motherfuckers, hey, look, y'all raided my house. Y'all had motherfuckers cuffed up in my house. Y'all did all this shit, and y'all know damn well I was clean. Y'all embarrassed me, this, that. We filed in the suit. When we get outside with my attorney, 2 officers that's depicted in there came to the front of me, and my attorney said, hey, look, man, let this shit go. This shit gonna fuck, this ain't gonna look good on us. We didn't know you. That boy put us on you, right? But we'll owe you one.
Wack is explaining going down to the federal building tripping and basically the detectives telling him on the spot that Studdabox told us on you. This seems a little odd that detectives would give up someone who is supposedly working for them name, and also beg to drop the lawsuit and let us owe you a favor. Wack has told this story on several occasions, changing it up a little each time.
When I got up to the top floor, we went to go get my personal belongings, me and my attorney, when I saw the 2 women with that FBI flak jackets come out, that Studdabox would always invite to dinner when we was eating at Stevie's on the Strip, that's when I knew what time it was. When we come off the elevator, I see a bunch of people in FBI flak jackets. Guess who one of the persons I see? The fucking female from New Orleans that asked about the 5 keys.
Sounds like a scene from Power. Was it one or was it 2 women? Now Wack 100 decides to use his favor the detective promised him and calls it in. Listen to how easy it is for Wack 100 to get the information. These is words coming from Wack, and like he always says, the truth could never be considered disrespect.
I'm sitting back, I call my attorney. I said, hey, yo, call that officer, I need to have a word with him. Yo, didn't you say that Studdabox is a cooperant for you? Yeah, documented on paper. Yeah, documented, he's a CI. Been that for 6-7 years. You got the paper and all, whatever y'all use. Yeah, we got that. Okay, yo, contact this dude, have them call Studdabox to the stand. Yeah, I called it in that day, and I did sue, but I used the card and that was it.
Studdabox alleges that Wack 100 was caught on a wiretap with Dale Dog conspiring to commit murder. This is why his house was raided and led him to working with the police as back. Studdabox explains to Juice M's that Wack gave up his address.
His house got raided because he was on the wiretap with Dog,
What is Mark saying I had to do with the case, bro?
Wack, listen, in the paperwork, it said you tried to call Dog, remember?
I tried to
and he
call
won't take
Dog.
your call. And I sent it to you. And he
I
said
talked to Dog. I talked to Dog. That whole Main Street shit, that was your play. I had nothing to do with it. I was a victim. I was a victim.
There you have it. Wack admitting to being a victim on the case, talking to Dale Dog, and also saying Money Mark was completely right.
Dude that spoke on Shaq, he's completely right, because I was caught up in the middle of all that.
Studdabox said you in my paperwork on wiretap, right?
So Studdabox confirmed that Wack was included in his paperwork.
On the Main Street
On the Main Street case.
which he wasn't charged. But this guy is saying the only person that was arrested
was Cash Jones.
If Greg's credibility hurts the findings of the entire task force or not?
Well, first of all, there were no arrests made other than Cash Jones.
When you get the discovery was part of that the actual wiretap,
the whole transcript. I got the whole transcript. The whole transcripts of the whole wiretaps.
And do you, in that paperwork, do you see your conversation with Cash Jones in them transcripts?
That was the initiating. When they started recording.
Right.
Damn.
And Cash Jones.
In the paperwork they put him as back. BACK. And I kept asking
the Wack boy in a minute.
The lawyer, like, who the fuck is? I ain't talked to no back.
Nasty.
And they
way.
said, nah, that's Wack.
Oh.
So they put him in back because he a blood. So
wow.
Said, oh, okay.
Was this back also referred as confidential source number 2?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Well,
that's nasty work. We don't even need to play no more of that. You got.
Met him with the homie Studdabox. That's how I first came to meet Wack, was through the homie Studdabox, right? When I met him, dude was driving trucks, seemed to be cool. Box was like, yo, this was his neighbor across the street. He seemed to be cool. When Studdabox defected, Wack picked up the phone and was basically being the interim, the middleman, because he was telling me Studdabox was defected, and I was like, okay, but my whole thing is, if he defected, why are you fucking with him?
Right. So he says that Studdabox defected, and then you get some phone calls asking to speak to someone else, right?
Yeah, he called me. He called me, man. It was, a series of calls, 4 or 5 calls. He wanted to reach out to the homie, rest in peace, Dale, though. And I don't give out nobody now.
Right.
So I called the homie, Dale, dog. I'm like, yo, homie, you want to holler at this dude or what? Because he keep calling me. And he was like, nah, I'm good on that. I don't want to holler at dude.
So at some point, you get a
Oh, you don't want to do no hollering?
Wack Hunt, Cash Jones.
Hell no.
And when he contact you, what did he contact you concerning?
He wanted to reach out to Dale Dog, rest in peace. And he wanted to give Dale Dog some information that he had gotten from Studdabox, right? It's like he was getting information from Studdabox on what his plan was and what the get down was gonna be. And he wanted to talk to the homie and talk to him. And Dog wasn't getting on the line with him. And he kept blowing me up because he wanted me to get him on the line.
Smart man. Rest in peace to Dale Dog, man. So he's talking about the phones is being compromised. Is that one of the things that he told you?
Well, the homie Dale Dog never trusted dude. Follow me?
Right.
So Dog didn't know was the lines compromised or was they wired up for sound or not. He just wasn't going to chance it.
Now let's jump into 2 more situations Wack 100 himself discussed about his encounters with the FBI.
Feds just called my phone 2 hours ago.
What they talking about?
I seen the shit, right? So first, I've been trying to get gang passport cleared. I said, maybe it's the, the passport people, right? So I said, I ain't gonna answer. Let me put the recorder on, then call. I called back. Niggas straight feds. So they asked me, have I been threatened? I said, what? What are you talking about? They talking about the boy, right? So that let me know they on his line. They didn't heard something.
Information has been provided that you've had some disagreements with Mr. Prince. Are you familiar with him?
I know who he is, but I don't have no issues with Mr. Prince.
Okay, so,
a disagreement is a disagreement. I don't know how that factors in the FBI.
Well, I think Mr. Jones, on the YouTube videos going back and forth with him calling you a snitch and you calling him one and all of that would be where we received information that there was possibly a disagreement.
Wack hired a crisis actor to impersonate the FBI. He posted a screenshot of his call log and bureau was spelled wrong. Was this Wack way of alerting the authorities he has issues with J. Prince? Wack has threatened 9,000 people on the internet, threatened to put a bag on people's head, claim he supplied guns to gangs.
Them same niggas you talking about when they went to war, guess who they had to come see to get their tools, bro? Big you all up. Wack. Crip nigga gotta come see me.
Why would the FBI be calling a big-time gangster like Wack 100 to make sure he's okay? Unless there is a relationship between the two parties which could have started when the felon was caught in Texas with firearms. Wack has accused rapper T.I. of snitching for only serving 1 year for illegal firearms, claiming that there was no way he could have only got that little time without telling. Wack 100 alone with his brother was arrested in Texas for unlawful carrying of a firearm by a felon. There was never a court date, no discovery on file, just a brief in support of motion to suppress. The case was dropped in 2011 in the interest of justice. Wack needs to do what he asked everyone else to do. Produce the paperwork, not just the order to dismiss. Explain how a felon gets caught with guns crossing state lines. What happened to your co-defendant?